Namaskar and welcome to Keeping It Real by thehousing.com, your gateway to the ideas, people, and projects reshaping India's real estate landscape. I'm your host, Swarali Zoshirao. In this episode, we are coming to you from the vibrant city of Pune, nestled beside the scenic Western Ghats, also known as the Oxford of East, known for its world class educational institutions, growing tech and startup hubs, robust manufacturing base, and a flourishing real estate sector. Pune has seen strong tailwinds in recent years of metro expansion, strategic infrastructure investments, and steady rise of micro markets catering to both affordable and luxury segments. However, recent trends indicate a mixed bag, a moderation in new launches, employment linked caution amongst buyers, and a hike in ready reckoners rate. So, what's really happening on the ground? To unpack this, we have been joined by someone who knows Pune's real estate pulse like few others do, Mr. Harish Shroff, Director of Sales, Marketing and Business Development at Nyati Group. With over 25 years in the industry and front seat to Pune's transformation, Mr. Shroff brings sharp insights into how market is evolving and what it takes to thrive in this dynamic business. Nyati Group, with over 28 years of engineering excellence, has delivered more than 70 landmark projects across residential, commercial, and institutional spaces. It's transforming Pune's skyline and earning trust of over 15,000 families. In today's episode, we'll explore Pune's shifting real estate landscape, discuss Nyati Group's current projects and strategies, and get an expert advice for all home buyers, investors, and professionals navigating through this market today. So let's dive in and begin with the Keeping It Real with Mr. Harish Shroff. So, starting with the residential markets, what are the current demands? Also, to be noticed that there is a major slowdown in the industry, and according to the recent reports, there has been a 15% low in the buying pattern. So, how do you look at the demand and supply game right now?
First of all, hi Swali. Thank you for having me on the podcast. To answer your first question, actually, is there is no decline or a slowdown in the demand. And if you see in the quarter one, usually in the real estate, year on year is a very cautious start. Because the appraisals are there, people have gone on vacations, and let's not forget that this quarter one has been little stress, at least on a global front. If you look at around the things and the situations happening globally will definitely impact the buyer's mind. And over and above that, there was a little issue on the national front also, with the India Pakistan issue being there. So there was a very cautious approach to the home buying pattern. But fortunately, it is back, and people are still looking for good deals. People are looking for still good locations. So a slowdown percentage-wise will not be justified. Plus, there was a tariff war happening globally as well. So there was a lot of cautiousness getting into a home buying decision. But I think with times to come and with weeks to come, it's going to ease out. So it's a temporary phenomena.
As you rightly pointed out that there are certain global tensions and economy is also impacted because of this entire events that are going across. So what's the intensity of these impacting the real estate industry according to you?
I would say from a moderate standpoint, it is there definitely, because if you're looking at a huge IT exports where Pune has been based, their entire legacy of Pune is IT. And if you look at US, where maximum IT exports do happen from the country, Pune is a major contributor to the same. So anything happening on the global front definitely impacts the buying pattern here as well. So I think it's all temporary in nature, as I said, that the world is now coming to terms to live with this crisis, and life is taking a new shape. And fortunately for us, quarter one at Nyati Group has been rock steady.
So coming to Nyati Group, it offers both like affordable housing also and ultra luxury segments also. What kind of changes do you see in the expectations that buyers are having with the perspective of sustainable living or lifestyle changes that are going through?
Today every buyer has become very conscious. Every buyer has become demanding. The competition has picked up to a level where information across social media about any product is readily available. The online reputation of each and every organization in terms of their product, quality, service, standards, everything is open to all. And in this world, I think the buyer is more demanding in terms of an aspirational lifestyle. The days are gone, Swali, when apartment used to be the hero of the project. Now it's the project which is the hero. So across the project, what kind of an amenities you're offering, what kind of a sizing of the apartment is there, what kind of a planning has got a role to play, especially when it comes to ventilation, light. And today the buyers take a collective decision as a family. It's no longer the head of the family who takes a decision. I have seen that gradual change where today each and every member of a family is equally involved in the buying decision. So that is a huge paradigm shift I've seen over the number of years, and it will continue to grow.
Very interestingly, you pointed out that now every member is in the decision making process. So, how does it change the architecture or inside infrastructure of your projects?
Oh, in a very grand way. It's a great learning from our earlier projects where light, ventilation, layout, Vastu planning, because nowadays everybody is very conscious about Vastu as well. See, one thing, Srolali, you have to understand that a family consumes real estate every day. This is one thing which stays with you for the rest of your life. So we as developers at Nyati Group specially invest extra time, effort into planning the apartment. Because this one thing, if you get it right, the whole family can stay there in peace, have good vibes, because if you have natural light and ventilation flowing in the apartment, and it all determines the size of the windows, the directional where you want to place your building footprints, makes a pathway for the air, ventilation is a big difference. These are generally good vibes in the apartment, and we at Nyati Group firmly believe that planning is the cornerstone of any successful project.
So, with concrete walls and all the material required for construction, it's also about ambience and the quality of experience you are providing to your buyers.
There is absolutely no doubt about that.
Pune keeps on attracting huge startups and it's a hub for IT industry. So, what and the professionals keep coming. Also, students from various walks of life comes to this city. So, how does that impact the buying pattern and also the demand in this industry?
See, Pune is already known for not only its climatic condition but the kind of work-life balance mode here, because IT offers flexible work from home options as well. Being almost an extended suburb to Bombay, it already has an investment destination. And while you were briefing about Pune as a beautiful city where IT, infrastructure, manufacturing, now with the metro and as well as international airport taking shape, let's not forget that it's a very strong defense base also. And while I say that, it's a tri-service base where a lot of defense personnel post their retirement would love to settle down in the city. And there are huge garden spaces, there are huge lungs of the city which are yet green, which makes it more attractive. Fortunately, Pune has taken a kickstart in the road planning, connectivity and metro. So I think that over the next 10 years will have a huge advantage to the city in capital appreciation.
I want to come towards the defense aspect of the Nyati Group, but before that, as you were pointing out at the metro network, which is expanding already, we have 33 kilometers of it, and there are more phases in Hinjewadi or in the Aund area of Pune. So, how is it reshaping the real estate hotspots in Pune, and is it changing the demands for areas specifically? Like earlier, people wanted to buy homes in different areas, but now they're looking for different pockets.
See, with this 33 kilometer of metro, railway line which has been established throughout the city, now destination and location is just a time value proposition. If I'm working in Kharadi and if I'm staying at, say, towards the western side, if my connectivity is seamless through metro and half an hour, I would still prefer that, because as a family, my neighborhood, my communities around, my ecosystem, especially if my kids are studying in a school of their preference, then the consumer who is the earning member would rather travel and travel in any city across the country Srolari, if you see, is only seamless if you have a good metro connectivity, which I think Pune has. So now no more a person who's working in Hinjewadi cannot stay in Kharadi and vice versa. Now everything is possible in the city.
So we are talking about the location over here. So there are micro pockets or micro markets which are developing, say in Kharadi or Baner or Wakad, and people are looking for homes over here because there are IT hubs surrounding it. So how do Nyati Group plans and strategize their projects in these areas, or can you talk a little bit about the demand from the buyers?
At Nyati Group, we generally look at a address, which is a location today. See, like every location has a journey from becoming a location to an address. And what we have is an eye to detail about locations depending upon its future connectivity, the current infrastructure it shares, the value proposition which we as a brand can bring to the location through our engineering and designs, and in terms of amenities to offer within the project. What is the future in terms of any industries coming around it, how close or proximity it is there to city centers. That is where we look into, and the areas which you just mentioned. But so we have Baner, we have Dhanori. So each one of the microsite is doing very, very well for us, and we continue to look at such areas which are the addresses of the future.
So, going into more technical details, before that, I want to come to your professional career. You have been with Nyati Group for 25 long years, and on the other hand, Nyati Group has developed itself, it has built an image. When we imagine Pune and real estate, it's about Nyati and it's clean, grand, but there is this sort of emotion related to it. It's a grand thing. So, how have you witnessed this journey of Nyati developing and you contributing to it?
Well, 25 long, fabulous, enriching, and amazing years of my life, actually, I should say. It's just not my professional journey. I've evolved as a person with Nyati Group. Our chairman and managing director, Dr. Nitin Nyati, along with his two dynamic sons, Piyush and Pranav, have played a very instrumental role in my life. And 25 years just went by, 70 projects took shape, 15,000 families got involved. So it's like one big Nyati family now. And I mean, if I look at it, the emotions have been a very, very major contributor in my success. If I have, it is still an ongoing process. We are learning every day. When I am evolving and learning every day. But with emotions, I understand is that whenever anybody is there to buy a house, and I've said it in the past interactions also, where if somebody is investing his hard-earned money in your project, he is already invested an approximation of 10 years of his savings, and he's taking a 15-20 years of home loan. 35 years of his life he's giving you, and it's a very long time. 35 years on an average. So what we do at Nyati Group is that not we truly value that contribution and the emotion which goes into allotting the house. I would not use the word selling. In allotting that dream house to the family is a memory, and every time it keeps on repeating itself with so many projects. I have seen families taking over on handover ceremonies, their apartments, and crying into emotions. Children running into the houses saying that this is my room, this is my room. We've seen defense officers, investing in our projects where their families have taken over the apartments while they were serving the nation on the borders. This journey has been amazing, and it's been full of, very gratifying emotions, I must say. And I'm grateful. And yes, and I think more and more years to come.
As we are talking about emotions, I also want to ask what kind of facilities do Nyati Group provides. So obviously we know that there are high-rise buildings and large homes, but with that there are certain facilities which buyers get. So can you talk more about it?
Nyati Group generally has two kinds of projects. One is what we call ourselves as affordable luxury, where we have townships coming up at Undri, Baner, Bavdhan, Dhanori, Kharadi, many such areas. And there we do a good amount of apartments in a township, which is about 1,000 units, 1,200 units, 2,000 units, making it over a 8 to 10 acre enterprises. So in such a landscape of area, we can do a lot with the amenities, not only with the age groups, but the number of amenities on an average cross even 40. So that is a lifestyle which we try to aim. And having said that, then there I have a luxury segment. Now, when I say luxury segment, there are city center properties. We have properties in Kalyani Nagar, Sadashiv Pet, Sahakar Nagar, and now upcoming in Lula Nagar as well. So, with these four mainstream city center projects, God's grace, we will change the skyline of the city center. And these are beautiful tall rises, close to about 100 meters. And these are all luxury apartments, not only in the true sense of the size, when we are talking about a minimum of 1800 carpet to about 3000 carpet, but the amenities within the apartment, something to start off with an imported marble, false ceiling, the entire air conditioning is done by us, a well appointed kitchen with chimney and hob, home automation, you name it, and it's all there. And with the height of each apartment close to 3.3 meters. So that is something which is a luxurious side of Nyati as well. So these are the two categories.
While reading about the group, I also got to know that there is some historic, preservation being done in this project, as in the kind of infrastructure that is being built has that taint or the tinge of history of Pune.
Yes, in fact, very recently, as we are truly inspired by the city center skyline of Sadashiv Pet, the Peshwa era, the Maratha era. So we recently launched a site at Sadashiv Pet by the name of Nyati Ivania, and it was an astounding success. And there we could see a lot of people, who relate to the location, also related to the communication the project had to say.
History, culture, art.
Culture, the connect between what we were trying to communicate with a Vada kind of a lifestyle with the modernization of life. That is something which is good.
How is Nyati Group leveraging the digital platforms or tech-driven things to, improve customer experience?
See, digital and tech support for Nyati is very, very crucial. And at the Nyati Group, we always aim to be digitally and technologically ahead of its time. And we are, kind of regularly evolving. Now, if you look at it from the marketing standpoint, today 70% of our marketing budget is aimed at digital experiences because the consumer pattern has changed drastically. And when it comes to construction, we are using the best of the tech and support, which is useful for quality, speed, precision, otherwise. And on the home side, while we give the experiential living to our consumers, we have also adapted home automation within the apartment, especially in the luxury side, where you have keyless door entries, you have video door phones, you have automation panels which can be connected to your phones to control the entire ambient of the apartment. So that is the level of tech we are involving at each stage of the group.
Can you tell our audiences more about Nyati's new projects, maybe it Eleanor, evoke or exuberance?
These are multiple locations, and at Undri we are coming up with Nyati Exuberance. These are value for money 2 BHK homes. Amazing view of the Sayadri Hills and the city skyline for Exuberance. The fastest construction in Undri micro market, and it's heading for completion next year. Nyati Eleanor is an upcoming luxury site at Lula Nagar. In the heart of the city, the project offers a large 3.5, 4.5 and 5.5 BHK apartment options. So that is something which we are very excited, and as we speak, the experience center and the show unit work is already full swing on. God's grace, we will launch this in the month of October. And we have Sahakar Nagar, where we have a project called Nyati Emblem, and it is at the foothills of the Taljai forest, and it's amazing, where you have the entire greenscape as your view, and they are just limited edition 104 apartments there. Again, 2600 carpet in size and offers close to 4 BHK large. And yes, Sadashiv Pet I just mentioned, Nyati Ivania, again a mixed bag of 2, 3 and 4 bedrooms in Sadashiv Pet, one of the most popular trending sites today, that I'm sure the audience must see the sample flat and the experience center to witness it all.
With Nyati's image of comfort, luxury and grandeur, there is also one image Punekars, associate with is the kind of projects Nyati has brought for defense people. and that's a very special attribute of Nyati. All of them know. Can you shed some more light on that? Because there are a lot of offers for defense personnel, and it's a known for this genuine work.
No, Swarali, it is something which we call it as Swabiman. Nyati initiated, this vertical just very recently, about 2 years back, but it all started in 1997, where a group of army officers had come for a housing need in one of our projects in Nyati in estate way back in 97. And today, cut 2025, we have 4,000 defense officers who have invested their trust, hard earned money with us. While we do so, we plan the schemes around their lifestyle, giving them the right blend of amenities and specification, the kind of a lifestyle they're already used to. And for them, primarily, we have created a new program called Swabiman, where they not only get the preferential units in all across my projects, but they also get preferential pricing, payment plans, and also loan assistance from their group insurance funds. One thing which sets us apart from the other developers, which I think has been a major factor for us to be around with them for such a long time, is that we take care of their post handover facilities as well. Like, not only to do with renting out, do we take care of their apartment, payments of all the utility bills, as well as resale option in case if they wish to resell. So all of this happens under one roof under the initiative called Swabiman.
I want to talk more on this because it's a very unique feature. Usually, developers or builders are known for the comfort they provide or affordable homes they provide, but this is a very unique feature in terms of someone in this industry, real estate industry, doing something for defense people is a huge thing. So, what kind of responses you have had, or you have already mentioned the number 4,000 army personnel or defense personnel are connected with you, but the testimonies or what kind of responses do you get when Nyati Group does this kind of work?
Well, it's firstly a mouth-to-mouth publicity, because every defense officer once goes through the cycle of this entire prospecting and then investing with us. The whole seamless experience makes him recommend to many more of his friends. And as they would all like to grow together post their retirement, grow older together post retirement, so Nyati becomes an evident choice. And plus, we have locations which are very close to the medical facilities, to the hospital. In fact, we recently delivered a Nyati Defense Enclave, exclusive 84 apartment community only for the armed forces. And to top it up, we also got the ECHS Polyclinic, which is only exclusively for the defense personnel as well as a part of our community. So that was a big achievement and a feather in the cap, where we could actually not only create a community for the armed forces exclusively, but also add value services, which is very rare. So that is something which we are very proud of, and thanks to the support and thanks to the Southern Command, they were kind enough to consider a request, because they saw so much of the defense diaspora there. And you can imagine 4,000 people means close to 8,000 couples. 4,000 couples would be easily around 8,000 to 9,000 people. So for them it was a necessity, and if it's a part of Nyati, it's like a cherry on the cake.
Coming back to other questions, a lot of NRIs are attracted to the city of Pune, and most of the people whose roots are connected in Maharashtra, they look for quality assets. So, what do you think about that market? Is it evolving, or the expectations are changing, or how do you look at it?
It's a important market for Pune. It is a very important market for Nyati Group as well. In fact, I can proudly say that we have a well-established office in Dubai since last 15 years, and we have close to 1,000 customers across, Dubai, GCC, and other countries. And again, the similar offerings as what we do, we not only take care of the property during the construction and handover, but post handover as well. And NRI market in Pune is ever growing. Again, like I said, that because it's largely coming from the IT employees, we generally go in for a short-term projects to any part of the world, and once they come back, they are definitely looking at a place to settle down here. And over and above that, I think the kind of a dollar rate which is happening today across, that makes the investment opportunity more and more attractive as well. So I think with the prices at the moment in Pune, it offers you really good value, plus the currency fluctuation, plus I think the need to come back to a luxurious home after a couple of years makes it more and more attractive for any NRIs.
Are there any changes in their patterns of decision making process, considering the factors of amenities or the area, the location, or rates which are fluctuating, as you said?
Across the world, I must have traveled and been a part of several expositions, expos, exhibitions, so forth. And I see these, Maharashtrian mandals all across. So whenever you go to them, there's a very different audience. So with due respect to all the Maharashtrian mandals, they still prefer areas like Sadashivpet. They prefer areas like Sahkar Nagar. So they are the ones who look at the luxury as the epitome because they've been there for quite some time. They have a reasonable amount of saving and they want to relate to a similar lifestyle they are leading to there. So obviously they look at a very good luxurious side of it. However, people who go in for a short term, they look at a good investment opportunity because Pune offers a very good rental yield as well. So they know that by picking up a good property in areas like Kharadi and Baner, the rental yield is going to be very good. So for a lot of ITNs, they prefer these micro markets where there's a huge density of IT parks. And that's how it is. So I think the trend towards NRIs will continue to grow, but new and new areas keep on coming to surprise us. So no longer it's a very typical buying pattern. Today an NRI is looking at the whole country as an investment opportunity. So whether it is Pune or any other city, one has to look at, pitching the city well first. Second, highlighting the infrastructure benefits. And third is, of course, the product. So that's the reason.
I also want to ask this question because Nyati Group has evolved with the real estate scenario of Pune since last more than 2 to 3 decades. So how do you think, how has it evolved and how the real estate scenario of Pune has evolved in terms of the expectations and what is being provided by the developers?
180 degrees of change. I mean, for us, even every 5 years is a learning. What was 5 years before is maybe not relevant today. So we as a Nyati Group have to constantly involve in, giving more and more better design solutions at the product level, more and more amenity and specific solutions at a product level in terms of the apartment, and more lifestyle facilities in terms of the project. Because like I said today, how do you think work from home evolved into managed office spaces? Then you have student accommodation, then you have senior experiential living. These are all, evolutions of real estate, where you can actually see a typical buying pattern, you can see a typical consumer going for such targets. So real estate is here to surprise us. So I would be really looking at it from the next 5 years standpoint. It's going to be very interesting for Pune. Very, very interesting.
Right, and the pace at which Pune is evolving through the industry, startups, tech hubs, also the kind of infrastructure we are talking about. On the other hand, we also have to remember that there are a lot of students who are coming into the city and then they try to settle in this city. So how do you what are your marketing strategies to capture the markets, because some of them come here for a few years and then they settle, and there are various different such cases. So how the Nyati Group tackles with this scenario?
See, firstly, Pune grows on you. The city is so good. It definitely grows on you. And if you kind of spend more than 3 years here while, you're doing your education or though by working, the city becomes a very obvious choice for you to settle down. And, having a great connectivity to any part of the city in a very short span of time, you can cover the distance. International airports are already there, connectivity to the express highway, and so many beautiful roads and networking coming to Nagpur and other fringe areas also. So Pune as a city has definitely got a potential. So, which I mentioned in my earlier this thing also, where work-life balance is a very, very critical thing. Cost of living comparatively is, I would not say cheaper, but far more reasonable than other metros. And now the talent is actually, in remote working as well. So nobody prefers to go back to their hometown or go back to the metro. See, going back to a city like Bombay, you will have a lot of stress in terms of traffic management and otherwise, whereas Pune is a great option to be in. So you can have more of your family time as well. So I think going into the future, these are the audiences we need to cater to, and we need to design location and product in accordance to their need.
Lastly, how do you picture the entire real estate scenario focused on Pune in upcoming few years in terms of demands, infrastructure, design, and development that is required?
A lot of support is required from the government. A lot of support is required from the local bodies. A lot of support is required at an infrastructure level when it comes to connecting the city to the different parts of the state, country, and the world. So, a lot has been invested, a lot is done, and a lot has to be done. So, with this journey, the Pune city has already embarked. I think Pune has a great future. I mean, if you look at it from the one development which changed the demand pattern was Atal Setu. If you look at the connectivity now from Bombay to, for example, a person today in 2 hours can travel from Baner, can travel to Vadala in 2 hours. And it's possible because of the beautiful expressway, then followed by Atal Setu. So that makes your quality of life better. So I think with Pune already focused on the ring roads, on the riverbed roads, and all the new bridges which are being planned, the city has got a great future. And let's not forget the builders today, the developers today are making buildings which are like poetry. Today they focus so much on their elevations, they focus so much on their color palettes. So the building looks nice. And believe me, and if you look into the city 10 years hence, the skyline of the city is the buildings you deliver. And that becomes your view. And when you step into the city, and if you see so many good landmark creations, the perception of the city improves dramatically. So I think with the new builders coming in, the young guns coming in, the newer generation in the builder fraternities coming in, they will create landmark projects for the future. For the next 10 years, Pune is a place to watch out for.
So you have interestingly pointed out a very unique thing, saying that aesthetics of a city is dependent on the infrastructure. As we talk about Jaipur as a pink city, or say Kolkata, it has a certain look. So are you trying to say that Pune is also heading towards having a certain kind of aesthetics or a look as a city?
Well, it's already called the Oxford for the East. It's already called by the IT, one of the IT hubs of the West India. So there are so many taglines the city has already achieved. And what we would like to see is a synergy of beautiful looking landmark buildings. Look at Kharadi. I mean, look at World Trade Center, look at Eon. There's such a sustainable atmosphere for those companies to thrive. You name at the best of the companies in the world. The Googles, the Facebooks, the Accentures, they all are here with their headquarters, right? All the banking institutions. And today the consumption is just not a few thousand, it's a millions of square foot. Today, a huge corporation moves into the city, takes about 1 million square foot. So that's the city's promise. And I think with these great looking structures, there are zones, and plus they are definitely trying to maintain the green portion of the city as well. Let's not forget the defense contribution, where you have such huge green pockets within the city. So the southern commands and the golf courses we have, and so much of the defense diaspora is spread across the city. So that keeps that natural open space retained. So I think Pune has got a great future.
We are so glad to have you on this podcast with all the minute details you have provided to all our viewers. From this conversation, we have kind of got a huge hope that how beautiful Pune is going to look in upcoming years with all the infrastructure that is taking place. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Realty, for having me. And I have no iota of doubt that Pune is going to be the city for the future, where your families will thrive, where your incomes will rise, and your work-life balance will sustain, and your investments will grow.
That's it from us for this episode. We'll be back again with a fresh episode of Keeping It Real by thehousing.com with more information and insights on the real estate industry. Whether you are a pro or a beginner, we are here to keep you informed and entertained in the world of real estate. This is Keeping It Real by thehousing.com, where we keep it real always. You can catch the episode on housing.com, on the housing.com app, YouTube channel of housing.com, on earshot.com, spotify.com, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and JioSaavn. Take care and stay safe.